All right. Shalom. Happy early pre-Shabbat or pre-Sabbath blessings or Baraka, excuse me. Let's get into this truth, right? Can anyone interpret an angel tongue? That's not possible. 1 Corinthians 14, rather you prophesy because other people can understand where you come from than to speak into an angelic tongue. No man understand what you're saying. That goes all the way back to curses and angel tongues that do not understand. Let me tell you, let the word tell you. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 28. Everybody likes to talk out this one. Look, Israel, Yahuwah shall bring thee and thy king, which thou set over thee, unto a nation, which thou fathers or you have not known. There thou shalt serve other gods, wood and stone. Well, Amaru America will be formerly known as today, right? Look at this. Therefore, thou shalt serve thy enemies, which Yahuwah shall send upon thee, not the devil, in hunger and thirst, nakedness, and all needs of all things. The yoke of iron shall be put upon your neck. Yeah, them slavery days, Look at this. Yahuwah shall bring a nation. Here go these angelic beings upon thee from afar, even from the end of the world. You know what the end of the world is? This inner earth and all this other underworld stuff, These people saying, there's life under there. Of course, God locked it up. We know that. Flying swift as an eagle, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. I just asked you, did any nation understand angel tongue? No. Muhammad got smacked in the head for not understanding the angel tongue. It's a lot of stories where angels got upset. Or were they, angel just mean messenger. It could be some type of man. A nation of a fierce countenance which will not regard the person of old, nor the young. Wow, we're in 2020. I want to show you the slaves of Egypt or Kemetic, Kamisha, and Israel, right? Right here today on TV. You could sell out, become a slave, lose your soul. Our scripts say, good as a man to gain the whole world and lose his own soul. Another script say, I will pour my spirit out in the last days, which you and I are living in right now. Now, just because he poured his spirit out for someone to tell the truth doesn't mean that they're going to heaven or back to the Most High. See? Like the preacher who could save 1 million souls, but God say, I don't know you. Never. Is a script on that. Man, don't be the one that can save everybody but your own soul. Wow, that's crazy. You never believed in how the Spirit used you. That is crazy. So, don't take my words for it. Hear it for yourself.
You don't understand, Ricky. I have wanted to make love to you for my whole life.
Well, it's not your game. You didn't make the rules, so everything comes hard. And as long as you're signed to a contract, you're going to take a minority share of the winnings. A select few of us will do well.
Skirt. As long as you what? You're gonna take the minority. Let's just stay in our realm, not super star. Go get a loan in a car. Go see how actually much the car costs. But because you went on a credit to get a loan, they get to play with you. God told us, no man, nothing but to love him. We thought it was a bunch of rules. Because when you don't listen, you get yourself in a pit. And then who you gonna call him? God, help me. Most High didn't tell you to do that. You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with us? And so now a man has power over you. Now your house that you did earn and get now becomes this guy because you can't pay your car. You ain't got no money to obligate to it. People get in trouble, put their houses up to get some knucklehead out of jail. They put themselves out there. Did God tell you to do that? You know what I'm saying? And you mad at God. God, I don't know why. Why this keep happening? Are you serious? Man, listen, you can't save him when God say, go to hell, son. Hell you go. It ain't like jail. You can't bail him out. You can't say, but wait a minute, Lord. There's none of that. You better hope you make it, okay? So every man runs his own soul with salvation and trembling fear. He made the decision on his own. Let his hind part get himself out on his own. See, that's why nobody believes in God. You keep being Captain Save-A-Ho. Sit your hind part down and let the Lord be the Lord.
Well, the majority will not. So as a people, we'll be considered a minority. But stop. Let's take a moment and look at yourselves. There's nothing minor about you.
So, your car, you pay all that money for 5 years, and the real cost of it is $5,000, $8,000, and $10,000. But now it becomes $50,000. Because everybody's hand that's loaning you the money, not the bank. See how many people can come into one? You think it's a bank. Oh, it's many hands in your car. When they put in their money of investments, they want their investment back. You know what I'm saying? Especially in these days now. So, things are getting smaller and things are costing more. Yeah, that's how it is because it's going to run out. It's going to mean meaninglessness scene. So, if you be enslaved by another man, whose fault is that? Most High say, I told y'all not to slave each other. So if you not listening to me, well, me. So, so as you see, this man's spirit is speaking. As long as you in the contract, you controlled by the one that made the contract. Did the Most High say, come on to the altar and I'm going to make you put some blood through your finger and I want you to say that you're covered by the blood? Man, none of that bullshit happened, man. You just believe God and say, you know what? I'm just going to believe God and we just going to, I done messed around and hit a button, y'all. I'm going to have to go back. I'm going to believe God and we're going to achieve this thing. That's what happened, right? So here we got, man, I'm going to have to bring it back up. We got Prince over here telling us exactly what's going on. There you go. Somewhat. It come back up. And we know what happened to him and anybody else that tried to tell us encrypted codes of what's really going on. So you know what happened when they get rid of stuff. It's because it got to be the truth. I mean, why do you believe in Yeshua? You say, oh, man, the government is going to be upon his shoulders. Why? Because he decided just to tell the truth? You mean to tell me robbing folks ain't worth killing them? Raping women ain't worth killing them? Stealing kids, you don't want to give them the death penalty. But you want to kill a cat that tell the truth. Oh, it's okay to do that. Man, how many spirits are we going to have to see actions act like the Messiah before we wake up and realize this thing is real, right? And so rich people like make up stuff and just to take out little old you. But when you in their face, they make you feel like this big, but really you on top of the world. Because they got everything. But they dance for you. They commercialize for you. They make investments between each other. They sign people and make them puppets and call it advertisement for you. For you. Without you, what can they do? But they make you feel like you owe them everything. Man, you better cut this out.
Music industry isn't being run by musicians. So, it's being run by accountants and lawyers. So I don't know if they know real music if they heard it. What they're looking for is acts that are going to make the most money for them. So you'll see all kinds of little gimmicks, so to speak. And ultimately, real music is just about a microphone and a spotlight. If you get over like that and bring the special effects within your body, then I think you're gonna have a lot longer career.
I know you haven't always loved the internet. How are you seeing progress right now with all of that? Can you use it to your advantage?
It's a double-edged sword. A lot of artists aren't getting paid full scale for their art, and the internet, because of downloading and things like that, is kind of like a black hole, and it's hard to audit, it's hard to get accounting, and it's not that it's just about the money, but it's about justice and fairness. And when people say that they love you and they respect you, but at the same time take 80% of your earnings, then expect you to fix your own communities, and they'll probably edit all of this out. But then again, that's the sharp part of the sword, and we're at the wrong end of it right now. So eventually, with courageous people going out there and actually saying something, standing up for it, I think we'll get some balance.
Like Ye is doing.
Tell me why. What am I missing?
Okay, let's do some math.
Okay.
If
You do math like that?
kind of. If you sign me to a record company,
right,
or a record deal, let's suppose you have a record company.
Right.
How much would you give me? The album sells for $18, right? $18.
Whatever. Yeah.
All right. How much of that would you give me?
Well, I don't know how it works.
Well, no.
Half.
Half sound good?
Yeah.
All right. Check this out. If I sell 1 million copies, I'm gonna have $10 million, right? Roughly $10 million.
Right.
If I sell 2 million copies, I got $20 million.
Right.
If I just sell 3 million copies, I got $30 million. Now who has the biggest record deal?
Oh, I see. Yeah, right. Okay.
Right?
Right.
So Mariah kind of got screwed. The reason why it became such a big deal back then is ever since my third album, I wasn't really taking large advances from the recording companies. I was recording the albums myself in my own studio. So the way I looked at it, I owned the work because I paid for it. And I did all the work. I created it, so I felt like it should belong to me. That said, the companies felt otherwise. And they would always hold this contract up and say, well, you signed it. And I say, well, I understand that. It's not like I want to leave. I just want to, talk about this thing and see if we can't make it more fair. Of course, they wouldn't change, because if they changed, they wouldn't really exist. And that's kind of the situation we're in right today. They're not going to exist much longer.
And it still exists to this day, and that's why Ye want to change the music industry.
Just to watch this guy and how brave he was. This man put slave on his face at a time where we all were like, man, Prince is weird. And then to come to find out, he was fighting for his masters the whole time. He was fighting for his freedom the whole time. And for him to come, he came to me. I didn't even have the nerve.
Skirt! Like the braids and the dreadlock styles in the hair led to the underground railroads and freedom and maps. Why are we still speaking in code? Now, them taskmasters that I had told you about isn't so much flesh. A nation is the second part of the creation. For the creator was talking about spiritual principalities, which is ideologies of ideas to persecute the very ones that don't want to listen. But in the book, he said curse. Curse in that way mean I only oppress those that I love. Let that marinate for you try to comment against it. I'm going to say it one more time. In Deuteronomy, he said, blessed 14 verses, chapter 28. Verse 15 say, these is for those who don't listen to me. And it's like 68 verses in that. So subtract 14 from 68. That's how many verses is about curses, which means oppression. And evil means sorrow. and in sorrow you learn. My people die from lack of wisdom. Checkmate. So if we understand this correctly, the actuality is the ideology of the neuronic system of how this man got an idea to put me on a piece of paper. He owned me. My mama and daddy don't talk to me like that. Now, when I told y'all I cannot own nothing in this world because I want my soul, you thought I was crazy. How can this man live? You see me living it like that. You see me happy. You see me do what I need to do when I need to do it. I go to the bathroom when I want to go to the bathroom. I eat when I want to eat. I sleep when I want to sleep. Watching the bum on the street, what you would call him, who lives like a king, taught me I got this backwards. Everybody take care of the bum, even his own family. They talk junk about him because he's so real with himself or herself. I don't care. They say, talk your talk. I'm still happy. I got the bottle in my mouth. Why you talking about me? That's what the life he chose. That's his goal. He ain't stole nothing from nobody. He ain't knocking nobody in the head for it. He ain't doing nothing wrong. But the ones that got to give, who supposed to be a cheerful giver, now God got a problem with you. You know what I'm saying? You did listen what God told you to do, but your mouth yielded your blessing. And you keep looking at the bum wondering, damn, every day he got a bottle. He ain't got no job, no money. I bet you he happy though, nigga. why you sour with your job and money and house, nigga? You know what I'm saying? That's how I taught it. I said the bum taught me how to live, man. I'm not living a righteous life. He can lay in the street and still be happy. I'm in a home, in a mattress. Something wrong with me. So I said, well, God, either you showing me something, all right? You told me to walk away from the job. I did what you told me to do. I'm online. I'm doing what you told me to do. A script for that says, seek ye the kingdom of God first and everything will be added unto you. I don't ask y'all for nothing. I don't beat y'all in the head. There's a bunch of people who ask me for my Cash App and my GoFundMe page. They ask. I didn't build it upon your head. I didn't ask for a collection plate. But what we give here will affect your life in a baraka, blessed way. Yeah? So in the end, I'm giving more than whatever you can ever give me as listeners. See? So that's how God is, which is God inside of me. You can't beat his giving. You know what I'm saying? So someone get healed from cancer. Look, if you got $100 million, that cost cannot affect to the equality of the miracle that has just been placed when you thought you was going to die. Now you don't have that problem no more. You can never outdo the spirit. Whoever the spirit is in, you can't outgive it. Because the very thing that drew you here, money cannot buy. Rubies, whatever the thing is that is valuable upon this earth is doo-doo and used as tissue in heaven. That's the exact clarity that God say flesh and blood and anything thinking of it cannot inherit what I have. You have to rise from this earth. So as the video said earlier, when you get rid of, I got to have money and all of this, you realize the value you've been missing because now you're not on the lower self. And so this is the keys of the kingdom of the real Christ story. They saw Christ, those that walk with him. I have him in me because in the beginning, before the apostles, there was, before Adam, there was, I knew you, me and God. I don't know y'all's story. I just know what God told me. You should know your story. So if he chose me before then I had to witness Adam and everybody until I popped out. In the spirit, though. No man physically have ever seen or will ever see God. But you cannot have his spirit and think you ain't seen him in the spirit realm of how to see things in the spirit. See? That differs from where you are right now. See that? So, This is the conclusion of slavery. The sellouts who look at us as peasants is really the slaves. I keep saying everything of God is reverse order now. What the world show you, always reverse it, and you can see the discernment of the righteousness. I'm BC the Hebrew, BC the Tishvite. Shalom.